started the day off at training camp, and I look back at my notes, and one thing I caught, Spinny, half, if not all of it, was about year one players.
Yes.
These rookie pieces that Brad Holmes has brought in already make an impact.
The man does not miss.
On a team that was already ascending.
Yes.
This motherfucker don't miss.
There's probably, at least 3, maybe 4 starters out of this rookie class already. Jack Campbell's running with the ones. Sam Laporta's running with the ones. Jameer Gibbs is probably going to be
Sam
starting
Laporta's
back.
running with the ones.
And then you're looking at a guy in Brodric Martin who's getting some run with the ones today and yesterday. We're going to talk about him later, but we've never seen this before. We've never seen this before. And last year, you could give your thoughts. It was a terrible roster. The team was shit. So that's why all these rookies go out there and shine. But no, it's showing again because now you have a roster full of NFL guys. You have a roster full of players that have been on multiple teams, guys that have made a living around the league for a good minute now. And you're still getting dudes like this. You're still getting your guys that you drafted high being dogs. Jack Campbell, we talked to dude. When I saw Jack Campbell during warm-ups.
Huge.
And he was standing next to Hutchinson.
Huge.
They were the fucking same size. Hutchinson's beefier, but I was like, bro, look at Campbell. He is a monster. And he was out there making plays, running around doing things, getting sacks, getting stops in the backfield. It's impressive, man. I'm excited to see these young bulls work. I'm excited to see these young guys go out there, make a name for themselves, stay hungry, play on a team that is actually competing, play on a team that actually has expectations. It's going to be fun to watch, man. It's going to be a great year for Lions football. It's going to be a great year for these rookies. And like I said, man, I got Jack Campbell in our defensive rookie of the year pool. And, bro, I could see the guy racking up 135-plus tackles.
Yeah, I think that thing comes down like turnovers and sacks and like highlight plays and all that good shit like that, which I don't think Jack Campbell will be void of. Like in the practice that we were at, he had 1 rep. By the way, the Detroit Lions decided to post that as a highlight for like Nate Sudfeld on Twitter. Pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because in live person, and obviously in that video too, like you can't hit the quarterback.
Jack Campbell would have destroyed him.
Yeah, he could have murdered that.
Yeah.
Murder him. He's been gone.
Yeah.
That was so disrespectful.
Slowest spin move I've ever seen.
Yeah, like Jack Campbell, he spared that man's life.
Around the world.
Shout out to Python Knight in the Woodward Sports Chat says I'm back for Levi News. Well,
not looking great.
Yeah, not looking great.
I mean, not anything Levi's doing because he's still working. But Brodric Martin's looking pretty great.
Yeah, like I don't want to he's just Brodric Martin's the hype coming out of training camp. Like number one on my list of like a little bit of notes that I took from training camp was Brodric Martin.
Yeah,
the very first play of 11-on-11s. So these are 1-on-1s, which Brodric Martin played the ones. AG tried downplaying that a little bit today at the press. Nah, because we already heard. I think he's trying to like. I don't know if he wants. I don't know.
He doesn't want the secret sauce out there.
I think that's what it is. Honestly, I don't know how to put that. Say that, but yeah, that's because we already had.
Doesn't want
Ben
anybody
Johnson.
to figure out the secret formula.
Exactly. You already had Ben Johnson like a week ago say like, hey, this guy's earned reps with the ones. This guy's earned reps with the ones. Like,
yeah,
you're not just throwing them out there.
There's a difference then of just
offense is different though.
There's a difference of just mixing up rotations on the defensive line and seeing what works, and having a guy out there shining against the ones. Consistently shine. Like we talked about
first 3 plays. I think he was in.
A single man cannot block Brodric Martin.
It's crazy.
Frank Ragnow 1-on-1 could not block Brodric Martin. Like I said it in the last segment. The loudest thing we heard from camp was David Montgomery taking a handoff up the middle and Brodric Martin putting him on his ass, like leveling that man. It was loud. It was a thud, and he's doing it again today. So. There's a difference between just shaking things up and seeing what fits where, and when a guy's out there, he's looking really good.
It's crazy because we were talking about it on Friday, and I needed the Inside the Den edition of the draft to like buy into like what Brodric Martin was going to be, because on tape you look at him, he's just standing straight up, but then you realize it's really just 2 humans holding him up trying to stop him from like moving forward. And like immediately again, the very first play of 11-on-11s, Brodric Martin smacked David Montgomery in the backfield for a loss, TFL.
Yes.
Immediately after that was double teamed on every single play.
Yeah.
But the very next play, also fucking gorgeous. Like while he was double teamed, guess who had a 1v1, Spinny?
Who's that?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh yeah.
And guess who made a TFL?
Yep.
Aiden Hutchinson with a tackle for loss, following Brodric Martin's blow up in the backfield. That's what we discussed and hyped up the possibility of on Friday. At this one, we were high off our asses. Mm-hmm. But we weren't just dreaming. This shit came true. And it was.
We saw it in real life.
Beautiful thing to see, because you even talked about the first damn pads where Aiden like sauced up with Penei Sewell. And Penei Sewell is like the cream of the crop when it comes to like right tackles or just tackles in general. He's one of the best. Aiden one-on-one is able to sauce him up. So you give Aiden those matchups all season long alongside of Brodric Martin. That defense is cooking up a recipe for disaster, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, when you got big, aggressive guys, I coined the term meat missile for Jack Campbell on Friday.
Yep, not loving it.
And that's what he was out there. He was flying around making plays. You've got Jahmyr Gibbs looking speedy, looking shifty, making catches out of the backfield, routing up Anzalone today. Like, these guys, man. These young guys. Oh, shining. Then it's like when they're out there, you notice them. In an offense, littered with veteran talent. In a defense that's now littered with veteran talent and with studs like Aiden Hutchinson and other guy, Ali McNeil, around the team, you're noticing these young guys. You're noticing these young cats go out there and make plays. So let the young bloods eat, bro. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see what they can do.
Get the young dog eat. Let
the young dog eat.
Chris, you were there Saturday. What was your biggest takeaway?
I mean, look, these young men left me speechless.
Hey, yo, bro.
They were
Fam,
out
we
there,
are not within Wisconsin.
Listen, man, might as well took it back to Brothers and Pickles the way these boys were impressive. But no, honestly, I have in my notes, I have a lot of Jack Campbell stuff because what it was is he was the one that Spencer alluded to it already. He was just everywhere, and it didn't matter where he was on the field. He ended up in the play. Like what stood out to me, I started with watching him. And he was the guy that stood out right away. But then I started to focus, okay, let me see how he looks next to Anzalone when Anzalone's out there, how Malcolm looks when Jack was out and Malcolm was in. And that's where I noticed the fluidity of his movement, the instincts that he has. Everything was great. And, well, nobody was shying away from contact. Jack Campbell looked like the one that was always seeking it.
Yes.
That was never afraid of the moment. So he really, really impressed me. I'm all in on what Jack Campbell can do.
That's why he is the meat missile.
Dude, that's such a weird name.
That's why he is the
meat missile.
It's not going to go away. I openly challenge Speedy to make a shirt. If he doesn't make a shirt of it, it's not going.
I'll make a shirt.
We'll see. We'll see if you make that shirt. I don't know if you're gonna make the shirt.
I'll make a shirt.
But no, I'm with you because that was like one of my concerns. Is like, and I said this a little bit on Friday as well too. But like the fluidity of his movement was a concern of mine at 6'5" because I look across the NFL landscape and the elite linebackers, and I can't pick one that resembles Jack Campbell. But then again, Friday I admitted he may not be Luke Kuechly.
Could be Jokic.
He may not be freaking Thomas. He's gonna be the first Jack Campbell.
Yes.
And he's gonna be out there. He's gonna be doing dirty things. I think where he's gonna be most nasty is in the pass game. And that's another piece of that too. And then because we're just talking about the rookies, like that's who caught our eyes. And Camp was the rookies, and this one, Lucas, I'm kind of not so happy here, but also happy here. Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell spoke with me yesterday. I probably should have sent this to you, Chris. That's my bad. But like, he spoke about him yesterday, and somebody asked him, and he's like, "What do you think?" Because you don't have to ask that question.
Yes.
The kid looks great.
He looks very good.
He's a little bit handsy too, but nonetheless, like him being stride for stride with a Khalif Raymond on the outside is pretty impressive because the athletic score wasn't something that you were like looking for him to consistently bring you. And then he also had another turnover. Like he was just everywhere. And I can't recollect if he was playing against the ones or twos when he's making these plays. I'm pretty sure it was the twos, but it doesn't matter. Like if you're showing that against the twos, you obviously belong in another tier.
Yes. And
that's just something I didn't expect to see, I guess, out of him this early. I really thought the numbers, the athletic score, I read too much into that. This kid can play.
Yeah, if you're running stride for stride down the sideline with Khalif Raymond, like that's a 4.3 guy. Yeah. That means you got the burst. That means you got the speed. That means you can run with people like that in the NFL.
Read. There's no wasted movement. Like he's already just there because we watched it in the inside the den, the hips and the private workouts, the Alabama ones. Nasty.
If you're a DB at Alabama, especially if you're starting as a freshman, like your fundamentals it's a check. Like you don't have to worry about anything else as far as like, is this guy able to do everything with his hips and turn it? But he was even going against AG spoke this morning. He's already throwing him in there against St. Brown. So he's going to get that work. And it's just one of those things where
he got St. Brown sauced him today. But
well, yeah, but it's still like the fact that he like that's going to happen. I feel like any rookie DB outside of Sauce and Woolen would probably struggle with that last year. But the whole thing with like how you were saying, Easy, is like, yeah, the testing score was low, but the guy has football speed. He can cover the field because he's intelligent enough, he's athletic enough. It's just he doesn't run straight line, but he can manipulate the defense and get to where he needs to go without having a 4.3 40. He has a 4.5 40, which is still fast. Like people act like 4.5s are slow nowadays. Like no, honestly, as a safety, you don't need to be running a 4-3, 4-4. You need to be running a 4-5 that allows you to read the defense and cover half the field. Yeah.
You need good routes, you need good execution, good stride, and that's what he has. So you said the fundamentals. If you're under Saban, you're starting that long, you're going to be plus in those categories. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Obviously, I still don't know if he'll get too much playing time out there with the secondary we have with the guys
CJ,
out there.
GJ, yeah.
CJ, GJ, Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph. And
I would take.
You what?
And you guys might hate it, but I want to hear your opinion because me and Braylon were talking about it. I think by the end of the season, Branch starts over Tracy. By that, when week 17 comes and we get into the playoffs, I think Branch will be starting over Tracy. Both will obviously get time, but I just think Tracy, not that he's older, but it's just he doesn't have like that burst that Branch is gonna have.
I don't know.
Tracy was out there making plays.
Yeah.
I know one of them was on Coda, or whatever the fuck his name is, but I'll say this, that Brian Branch is more of a playmaker than Walker is. Like, he's able to get his hands like on the ball and come down with it versus like Tracy swatting it away.
We'll see.
But Tracy's no slouch,
Tracy's
man.
got a huge chip on his shoulder.
He's big. Tracy's a big boy.
He's a big boy. When he was out there, when he's always out there, he makes plays. He's been in the league for a while, and when he gets on the field, he is a great player. So I'm not counting Tracy out at all.